Nigeria's population is estimated in excess of 230 million people. Ladies and gentlemen, that's equivalent to 2.85% of the total world population for this year. That is nearly 16% of the total population of Africans, and the youth of Nigeria forms the majority. But guess which other country shares similar demographics with Nigeria? Brazil. They both have large lands and populations, even though Brazil is way larger, and they both run a federal presidential republic. And don't get me wrong, this is not a comparison between the two countries, not at all. It's rather a contrast of what happens when there is a sign of leadership and where there is none. You need to watch this video in full. Come with me. Hi, I'm Cyrus, and thanks for choosing to watch today's episode. Be sure to subscribe and click on the notification bell. Having a huge land and a population with enormous natural resources is usually a blessing, like in the cases of Russia, China, India, Brazil, and Australia. But this blessing doesn't just happen, ladies and gentlemen, unless it's worked at and well managed. For obvious reasons, our own Nigeria have all these natural resources, and instead of it being a blessing, ladies and gentlemen, it's rather a curse for its ordinary people. You need to put your bias aside for a minute and judge me on whether I'm going to be shooting facts or lies. Now, Nigeria celebrated their 25 years of democracy, where they've had a stable, uninterrupted political situation since independence. In this year, in a year when they've clinched back on top as Africa's biggest economy. The irony, however, is when you do a comparison of their size of economy to other countries that have similar sizes, you come to the realization that the problem is bigger than you thought. According to the IMF, Nigeria's economy is worth $253 billion, and that's the best in Africa. However, these are the rest of the countries in the world that falls within the $200 billion economy range. Portugal, Kazakhstan, Peru, Algeria, Iraq, New Zealand, Greece, Qatar, Hungary, and Ethiopia. But guess what their average population is? 28 million people. In fact, by excluding Ethiopia's population, the rest of the 10 countries in that category combines for a total of 185 million people. If you are struggling to understand what I'm trying to say, ladies and gentlemen, let me make it clear and simple here, that this explains why there is so much poverty in Nigeria, because a country with that size of population cannot survive with this size of economy. Nigeria will need over $1.5 trillion worth of economy to make the average person's life worth living. This is not a time to write in the comment section and throw cheap insults against me. I've not played any role in making Nigeria what it is today, so chill. Do you know that according to the IMF and the World Bank, over 40% of the people in Nigeria live below the poverty line? That 40% translates to more than 93 million people in 2024 for a country that has everything. Now, the most disturbing part in all of this is this: the very many daring people, the daring young people in that country, are not looking for a social reform or accountability from leadership like they make it look on the internet. Pay attention. They are rather looking for ways to become or achieve what their favorite people in their country have achieved, which happens to be the same people that are corrupting the system. It's similar to what Julius Malema of South Africa once said about the leadership of the ANC during the fight for freedom from apartheid rule. He said, they didn't fight because they wanted the people of South Africa to be liberated and have that freedom, but rather they fought because they were jealous of the privileges the apartheid white folks were enjoying. They wanted to have a share in it. It's similar to the current political situation in Nigeria. No wonder the ordinary people celebrate their stars and celebrities so much, even when they know that some of these stars or celebrities, their sources of funds are illegitimate. So I've come to understand, ladies and gentlemen, that to many Nigerian youth, It's not about a change for all, but a wish to become their rich, untouchable idols. What a shame, ladies and gentlemen, because nothing stops Nigeria from being one of the world's superpower. And if you'll notice, I didn't mention some of these smaller countries that have economies bigger than Nigeria's economy. Countries like Vietnam, Philippines, Poland, Taiwan, Korea, and the likes. Brazil's economy is worth $2.3 trillion. And guess what making them all that money? It's agriculture, mining, and manufacturing. And all these, ladies and gentlemen, Nigeria has it in abundance. But Brazil have exploited and managed theirs better. They have been at the very top of sugar production for many years in the world, the number one for many years. They control nearly 50% of world supply. When it comes to orange and orange juice and soya beans and maize and coffee, chicken, they are massively represented. On top of all that, ladies and gentlemen, Brazil is ranked top 7 in the world for manufacturing and exportation of airplanes, helicopters, and other spacecraft. So, in contrast, it's similar population, similar style of governance, but different economic positions due to differences in leadership qualities between Nigeria and Brazil. It's tough and depressing to research on any subject in any African country. As it stands now, there is not a single commodity that Nigeria dominates in the world. This is definitely a problem, ladies and gentlemen, not just for Nigeria, but the rest of black sub-Sahara Africa. At independence in 1960, Nigeria's population was a little over 40 million people. After 64 years, they are a little over 230 million. Do your own math and share with me the projected population of Nigeria in just 20 years to come, all things being equal. Africa is sitting on a time bomb. The world is actually sitting on a time bomb. And the time is ticking for those who have ears to hear. We need true leadership in Africa now and not tomorrow. Stop all the politicking and demand for accountability for the masses and not for yourselves. Wake up, Nigeria. Ghana, wake up and demand for development today whilst the numbers are still small. I think I've said enough. Thanks for choosing to watch today's episode, and be sure to subscribe and click on the notification bell to watch all of my new and old videos. God bless you, and it's bye-bye for now.